Welcome to Montreal, to all of our friends from everywhere in Canada and from all over the world. Montreal is my hometown. It's the birthplace of bull Bitcoin, so we're really glad to have you here. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what makes bull Bitcoin special. I'm going to be shilling my company. I often do tech speeches and talk about esoteric topics, but today I decided to shill my own brand for once. So the origin story of bull Bitcoin is really, I think, at the core, the foundation of why bull Bitcoin is unique. So in 2013, I got involved with a group of Bitcoiners from Montreal, and they had founded an organization called the Bitcoin Embassy. It was a physical, massive 3-story building downtown Montreal dedicated to the education and fostering of Bitcoin. And what I basically did for a living is I was sitting at this desk over here and people would walk in from the street and ask questions about Bitcoin, and I would install wallets for them. So for the first, let's say 3-4 years of my Bitcoin career, I was interacting on a day-to-day basis with people that were interested in Bitcoin. So I would say I really got to know the Bitcoiner and what Bitcoin was actually used for in real life, and who the actual Bitcoin users are, what their concerns were, and it was really an awesome space. And I've got some photos missing on my slides. And one of the things that we were doing is, of course, talking to people, but we were also selling Bitcoin at the Bitcoin Embassy, because when someone comes in and says, the most common question about Bitcoin was, how do I buy Bitcoin, right? So, of course, we set up a little Bitcoin ATM, and we ended up setting up this kind of a Bitcoin kiosk where you could walk in and buy Bitcoin. And that experience is what I still believe today was the ultimate experience of a Bitcoiner. You come into the office and you get a Bitcoin wallet. It's the first thing, right? So obviously it's non-custodial from the start because it's a physical desk. So we would help you get a Bitcoin wallet. You come to the office, you give cash, and you get Bitcoin in your wallet. There is no better experience in the entire world. And what we've been trying with Bull Bitcoin this whole time is to replicate this experience online. So Bull Bitcoin, from the beginning, was started as a non-custodial exchange. It started as a Bitcoin-only exchange. You couldn't buy shitcoins at the Bitcoin Embassy. And that is the core of our foundation, Bitcoin-only and self-custody at all costs. In around 2014, there was another Bitcoin company at the Bitcoin Embassy called Bylls, and Bylls was the world's first Bitcoin bill payment company. So Bylls allowed people to send Bitcoin to the app, and the app would pay their bills, their electricity bills, utility bills, you name it. And it was, of course, also non-custodial, because as soon as you sent the Bitcoin, it would automatically send the bill payment to someone else. And I took over Bylls in late 2015 because the owner wanted to move on to, the founder wanted to move on to other things. And that is also the foundation of Bull Bitcoin, that Bitcoin was always meant to be used as a medium of exchange, not just as a store of value. And that's been a key principle driving Bull Bitcoin, is that we don't want people to just invest in Bitcoin. We want people to use it. And using it means holding it is fine, but also spending it. Another reason why Bull Bitcoin is special is because we have no venture capitalists, we have no debt. It was entirely self-funded from the very beginning. So on the left here, you have Arthur and Paul. Big shout out to Arthur and Paul, the 2 first Bull Bitcoin employees. And we were making money from the start, right? We were making some income from the start, so we never needed to have any VCs or investors or debt or whatever it is. So we were able to do things that other Bitcoin companies cannot do, because some of the things that we do are controversial. Let's say like that. Our brand is controversial. The things we do are controversial, but we only answer to ourselves, right? I only answer to myself, to our users, and to our employees. So we have no strings attached. And of course, thanks to number go up technology, we were able to finance ourselves. For example, Bylls, Bull Bitcoin, it used to be called Bylls before, was the first, I think, Bitcoin company to ever take a Bitcoin-backed loan, right when Ledin launched, actually. I love this photo because we were Ledin's first client. So we were able, for example, to use our Bitcoin treasury, take a Bitcoin-backed loan, betting on the price of Bitcoin going up in order to finance ourselves. And since that photo is about in 2018, it turned out to be a very, very good financial decision. Part of the foundation of Bull Bitcoin is also our relationship with the Bitcoin network. So Bull Bitcoin was very, very involved in what we know today as the Fork Wars. The Fork Wars was an attempt by corporate Bitcoiners from New York and Silicon Valley to take over the Bitcoin network. And Bull Bitcoin was one of the maybe 5 or 6 companies which actively fought against this takeover. And that is another really huge part of our history, is that we realized that as a Bitcoin company, we're not only here to make money or offer a service. We're here to curate and steward the Bitcoin network, and that philosophy has been stuck with us since that time. Part of the things that we did is when the Fork Wars happened, actually I'll just go back to this. When the Fork Wars happened, there was going to be a split in the Bitcoin network, right? So, and to decide which part of the Bitcoin network you were going to be on, you had to run a specific type of Bitcoin node, whether that was a SegWit compatible node or whether that was a forking node or whatever. And we were not using our own full node at the time. We were using a third-party company that was managing our Bitcoin for us. By the way, this is what all the Bitcoin companies do today, except Bull Bitcoin and a few others like River. But we were not controlling our own Bitcoin nodes and our own Bitcoin wallets. And so we weren't able to choose basically which software, which fork we were gonna run. And that was an unacceptable situation for me. So what we did is with Etienne, which has been an engineer at Bull Bitcoin since 2017, we actually built our own Bitcoin backend stack called Cipher.node. Cipher.node is a self-hosted alternative to Coinbase, to BitPay, to BitGo, to Prime Trust, to all of these kind of like custodians that other exchanges use to control their Bitcoin wallets and their Bitcoin nodes. We actually built our own alternative that we host in-house. So we control exactly how and when we run Bitcoin wallets and Bitcoin nodes. And that is an incredible achievement. Cipher.node is an amazing project. Please give a round of applause to Keksky, which created Cipher.node. Cipher.node is fucking awesome. It's part of our legacy. Nobody else does that. Bull Bitcoin has a huge open source culture. As you can see on our GitHub repo, we have 65 open source GitHub repositories. I'm going to talk about the wallet a little bit later. But with Cipher.node, we built our own Lightning implementation, LNURL implementation. We built our own open source batching system. We have all sorts of code that we write and that other people use. For example, the code that we wrote for the Bull Bitcoin wallet is now used by Aqua, is now used by Breeze. It's used by multiple companies. So we really strongly believe in the open source ethos. The Bull Bitcoin wallet is the world's first, I think, open source, full open source Bitcoin exchange. So some parts of what we do are not open source, but anytime we can open source, we do it, and we do it under an MIT license. So it's for real open source. Another part of our ethos and infrastructure is that we create our software in-house. I can't even count how many developers we have at Bull Bitcoin today, probably like 12 or something, which is a lot. I'll tell you that's a lot for a company our size. So our authentication system is open source. Our KYC and user, is in-house. It is open source and in-house. Our KYC user management and in-house. We don't use third-party chain analysis companies. Because when you do that, you have to give your users personal information to the chain analysis service. We built our own thing in-house that we run in-house. Like you would run your own node on a Start9 because that's good for privacy and sovereignty. We run our own stack on our own servers. Our pricing engine is, we created it. It's in-house. Order creation, payouts, trading. Even our chat software is in-house. Like when you're in an app, you have like a little chat software where you can chat with customer support. That's all on someone else's servers because people, they just use like a third-party tool to chat with their clients. No, we built our own chat app in-house on our site so that your conversation with us always stays on our own servers. And that's critical because we're talking about money. We're talking about KYC. We're talking about bank transfers. And I just can't understand why other companies would allow all those conversations to be on some other company's third-party servers. So we built our own. Our operations are in-house, our compliance stuff, there was like this Comply Plus ad right before my talk. Our compliance tools are built also in-house. And this allows us to massively prevent data leaks, which is absolutely critical. Also part of our infrastructure, Bull Bitcoin is a Canadian company. We're extremely proud to have very good banking relationships with Alberta banks and Alberta credit unions, so we don't use any sketchy Panama Bank. Our credit unions have the Credit Union Deposit Guarantee Corporation. We have solid long-term partnerships. We have same-day wire transfers. So we've been really, really fortunate in building an infrastructure relationships with Canadian financial institutions which share the same values that we do, and most recently, Bull Valley Credit Union is one of those. Part of our mindset is also to fight for user privacy and for user data. As a KYC exchange, we have to be compliant with the law, but that doesn't mean that we can't take user privacy seriously. An option, for example, is that on Bull Bitcoin, you can do manual KYC. We have a secure file upload protocol where instead of going through like one of those apps that kind of like scan your face and scan your ID, you can manually give us that information if you want. And actually, for those of you who do the automated KYC thing, we actually force our KYC provider to delete your data after 30 days. We do a lot of there's a lot of stuff. We do a lot of things to protect your privacy, and every little bit helps. And that's very important because if a Bitcoiner's data is leaked, it's not just random information that can be used against you by kidnappers, by attackers that are trying. So we take that very, very seriously. Another apply to the mission program at Bull Bitcoin, and you'll get a nice discount on the Bitcoin price, in addition to having the option of getting referrals. Another mindset that we have is we have the world's best customer support team, not just in Bitcoin, but any company. We have Kevin, Phil, Guillaume, Mathieu, Mike, Pablo in the room. Please give these guys an amazing round of applause. If you've ever sent your friends or your family to Bull Bitcoin, you know what I'm talking about. These guys will call you, they'll take care of you. These are real, legit, hardcore believers in the Bull Bitcoin mission. They're not like outsourced to some random intern in another country. They speak your language, they know who you are, they think and talk like you. There is a continuous, that's an amazing feature. We have a continuous live chat. There's no support. I hate support tickets. I hate emailing support. There's a continuous live chat that never ends. There is no AI chatbot, and there will never be. And one thing that we do that is like lacking in this space is fucking phone calls, right? I have a problem with my wallet. Instead of going back and forth with emails, why don't you just call the person and figure it out over the phone? And these guys will spend an inordinate amount of time calling people over the phone to make sure that their wallet is set up properly and they know what they're doing and they feel comfortable. And overwhelmingly, that's the feedback that I get from clients. It's like the support team is amazing and these guys are rock stars. Another mindset that we have is Bull Bitcoin. I don't know any other company, Bitcoin company in the world that cares more about protecting the elderly from fraud. We actually have a department here at Bull Bitcoin whose main job is to see and detect old people that are buying Bitcoin and call them. And okay, sometimes it can be a little annoying, right? It feels like a little bit of a Gestapo. So the Bull Bitcoin team is going to call you and be like, hey, so why are you buying Bitcoin? Like, so it feels a little invasive sometimes, but you would be shocked to see how many old people are being conned into buying Bitcoin by scammers, right? And the scammers are getting the Bitcoins in the end. So we have a team, we do multiple phone calls every single day, calling old people, making sure they're not getting scammed. And we lose a lot of business. We lose millions, right? Doing that. Because if we think that someone is being scammed or conned, even though we're not at fault, right? Like that person is buying Bitcoin to invest in some Ponzi scheme. I'm sorry, we're not gonna let you, right? If we think that you are buying Bitcoin and that you are gonna get scammed after buying Bitcoin, maybe that's paternalistic. I don't care. I'm not going to let you buy Bitcoin. You can buy your Bitcoins elsewhere. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Pablo, everybody knows Pablo. Pablo, big round of applause for Pablo, our global educator. We send Pablo all over the world to teach people about Bitcoin in Central America, in Europe, everywhere. I don't know if Pablo's been to Africa yet, but he's probably gonna go. So education is how I started in Bitcoin at the Bitcoin Embassy, teaching people not only why Bitcoin, because you can listen to Michael Saylor for that, but how Bitcoin, like how to actually use it and understand the cryptography and know what you're doing, not just get fed a bunch of, Bitcoin's gonna go to the moon, but like actually know what you're doing and take ownership of your money and become a sovereign individual. You cannot become sovereign without having the proper education. So that's a big part of our mission. That includes, meetups in Costa Rica. We are patron of an organization called Bitcoin Jungle. We have had about 5 different cohorts of graduates to our Bitcoin course there. A huge part of our mindset is also to promote commerce. So of course, Bitcoin Jungle is the world's most successful Bitcoin circular economy, not entirely due to Bull Bitcoin, but Bull Bitcoin is a massive, massive part of the Bitcoin Jungle project. We run BTC Pay servers for merchants. We offer free assistance, and if you're a merchant and you want to accept Bitcoin payments, you can call us. We're going to set you up with a BTC Pay server. We're going to give you a discount. We really want you to succeed as a business if you accept Bitcoin. We believe in that very, very much. Another mindset is like we fight for what we believe in. We have political values, right? We fight for freedom. We fight for individual liberty. We're very vocal about it, and it comes with risk. It comes with personal risk. Actually, I got in trouble for this. There was a smear campaign against me. Even today, if you put my name through one of these software for compliance, there's a bunch of red flags that come up on my name because of this thing. Because we've been associated to the trucker convoy, and when the truckers were facing tyranny and oppression, we stepped up and we showed them how to use Bitcoin. Another mindset is we fight against the paper Bitcoin scams, and very few Bitcoin companies are doing that. They seem to actually be all in on the paper Bitcoin scams. We sell UTXOs. We sell real Bitcoins, not papers on a screen. We are UTXO dealers. We are coin dealers. We don't sell debt. We don't sell IOUs. And we have so many fantastic partners in Canada that are helping us with this mission. I want to give a big shout out to Bitcoin Mentor, Nathan, and Ben Perrin. They are help. And you know what? The thing that annoys me the most is when I hear people say, oh, well, people are too stupid to hold Bitcoin, so they should just like buy MicroStrategy stock instead. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. All right. Using Bitcoin properly is not that hard. And if you find it hard, Bitcoin Mentor will set you up. They'll set you up with a session, and then you will leave there with a fucking plate, a cold card. You'll be safe. It is possible. And we're not giving up on this mission, right? It's self-custody at all costs, self-custody or nothing. You will never see any support of paper Bitcoin or otherwise IOUs coming from Bull Bitcoin or its staff. Whew. All right, let's talk about the app and the products. What does Bull Bitcoin do? I mean, okay, so I know there's a bunch of OGs in the room that have used like the first version of Bylls, the first version of Bull Bitcoin. Our engineering team is fucking awesome, right? It's really, really amazing. And we've built like an incredible line of products. We have 4 main products at Bull Bitcoin. We have, of course, the web app. We have the mobile app. We have the API. And we have this new product in partnership with Bull Valley Credit Union where you can buy Bitcoin linked to your bank account. So let's go through them, right? So our main product, our first most popular product is the bill payment. We are the world's first bill payment company. Some of the things that we do that are unique is we lock in the price at zero comp. You know, on an exchange, if you want to sell Bitcoin, you have to like deposit Bitcoin. You have to wait for it to confirm. Maybe it's going to take like, I don't know, a couple hours or something, and then you have to log in again, and then you have to sell the Bitcoin, and then once it's sold, you have to withdraw it to like a bank account or something, and usually it's to your own bank account, like you can't send it to another bank account. So we have instant price lock-in at zero conf. We have limited verification options, you know, an e-transfer, now it's instant, like it's the fastest, probably, I think it is the fastest way to sell Bitcoin and get an e-transfer in the world. Just lightning payment, boom, e-transfer sent to your bank account. We have options for you to print your receipts for taxes. We support Lightning. We support Liquid. It is the fastest fiat to self-custody platform in the entire planet. You send an e-transfer, select Liquid or Lightning, it's in your wallet within a few seconds. You have instant funding, instant buy. It takes about 2 minutes to get set up with the whole thing. We support Liquid, we support Lightning, we pay the Bitcoin network fee. It's dead simple. We also have LN URL, Bolt 11, Lightning addresses. It's just the most technologically advanced way to buy Bitcoin, I think, in the entire world. I think our technology is way better than Coinbase's and companies that have so much money. And we built that entirely self-funded. We were the world's first, I think, probably, I'll just say we're the world's first non-custodial DCA exchange. Again, with Lightning and Liquid, you can now DCA like, I don't know, $25 every hour. It's super, super dead simple. We were definitely the first to have non-custodial limit orders. So you can set a price at which you want to buy the price of Bitcoin with a little dial. It's really fun. And we also have an auto buy feature, so you can turn on auto buy. And what that does is, let's say you turn on auto buy, you send an e-transfer. You don't even have to log in. You just send the e-transfer, and the Bitcoins show up magically in your wallet. Again, Lightning, Liquid, or Bitcoin on chain. We also have, that's been the key to our success. I think we're probably the largest like OTC broker in Canada for big deals. We call it Bull Bitcoin Prime. Guillaume is our champion. Guillaume is the guy that's orange pilling in the background. Tons of Canadian companies. There's Canadian companies that are actually building a real Bitcoin treasury. These are not like public companies that are, doing like these little pump and dump games on the market. These are actual businesses that are like, I don't know, a car dealership, and they want Bitcoin on their corporate balance sheet. Guillaume is the guy that's gonna help them get that set up. We do a lot of real estate. We have great partners in Canada, Rockstar Real Estate, a group from Toronto. They've been helping us to orange pill the real estate market in Canada, and it is huge. You would be shocked to see how many people are investing in real estate and dumping their real estate investments for Bitcoin. And you would also be shocked to see how many OGs are dumping their Bitcoin to buy real estate at the same time. We facilitate both. And of course, with Bull Bitcoin Prime, again, I want to give a big shout out to Bitcoin Mentor, because part of the experience of like a high net worth individual is they want not only to buy a lot of Bitcoin, but people do want to take self-custody, and Bitcoin Mentor has been instrumental in helping us orange peel these either these companies or these rich guys that want to buy a lot of Bitcoin. We've now also launched a Bull Bitcoin API. It's used by 3 different apps at the moment, by Balance, which is a Canadian custodial Bitcoin custody platform, by Bitcoin Jungle, and of course the Bull Bitcoin wallet. So with the Bull Bitcoin API, apps can integrate Bitcoin buy and sell in their apps. You can trade programmatically. You can apps like, Bitcoin ATMs can manage their liquidity. You can accept Bitcoin payments. You can make Bitcoin payouts, and you can do cross-border payments with the Bull Bitcoin API. So the objective of Bull Bitcoin is nothing short of global domination. We have launched first in Costa Rica because that's where I live, and then we launched in Europe, and then we launched in Mexico, and then we launched in Argentina. We have meetups in Europe in multiple languages, in Spanish, in Italian. We had a meetup in Croatia, a meetup in Greece. We've got a community all over the world. We are going to be adding a lot of red on this map, starting with the latest country that I'm announcing today. Bull Bitcoin is now live in Colombia. No, sorry, it will be live in Colombia in the next couple of weeks. Don't try it now. It's almost there. It's almost there. We're going to be live in Colombia. So you can see this map. It's not going to be all red, because some countries, we can't go to Russia, obviously, and China and stuff like that. But there's going to be a lot of red on this map in the next couple of years. And finally, the legacy of Bull Bitcoin. So 2 years ago, I actually presented this at the Montreal Bitcoin Canadian Conference, which was the first, prototype of the Bull Bitcoin wallet. And I look at that and I'm like, fuck, that was ugly. Holy crap. That was lame. That was 2 years ago. And I had presented my vision of creating the world's best Bitcoin wallet integrated with the exchange. And this is what we have today. It's fucking awesome. So what we did is a Bitcoin wallet, which works with Bitcoin Network, Lightning Network, Liquid Network, and it also works with hardware wallets. It is the first mobile wallet in the world to activate PayJoin for receiving and send. PayJoin was a huge technological effort. PayJoin allows people to consolidate their Bitcoins and save on fees without wrecking their privacy. It's just an absolute wonderful wallet. At 12:30, our developer Azad is going to do a demo and workshop on that. And please give a round of applause to our wallet developers. There's Ishi, there's Bram, there's Ben, there's tons, there's Azad. These guys are really amazing, and they actually worked really, really hard to release the latest version of Bull Bitcoin Wallet before the conference. The legacy and my dream is to have secure cold storage on mobile devices. We have created an absolutely phenomenal cold card queue integration with the Bull Bitcoin wallet. If you've ever used a cold card with an SD card and moving it back and forth between your laptop using Sparrow, try it out. Your mind is going to be absolutely blown. I think it is the single best hardware wallet experience of all time, the Cold Card Queue and the Bull Bitcoin wallet. And the things that you can do here are fucking awesome because we also have an auto swap mechanism. So imagine this, okay? Imagine this. You fund your account with Bitcoin, you activate recurring buy, the DCA, on your mobile app. You don't have to copy paste any address. You just activate it. The coins are going to start streaming from the exchange to self-custody in your Liquid Lightning wallet automatically. But then what you do is you activate the auto transfer and you connect it to your cold card. And what that's going to do is once you reach a certain amount, let's say 0.1 Bitcoin, it's going to automatically convert it to your cold card. Let me say that again. Your recurring buy with Liquid onto your mobile app automatically, no copy paste. You just click a button and goes into the wallet. Once there's enough money in the wallet, it automatically swaps it, no KYC, atomic swap, non-custodial, to your cold card in cold storage with a fresh UTXO. It is the best Bitcoin buying experience ever created. We also want people to be able to spend their Bitcoin securely. So from the Bull Bitcoin wallet, you can actually literally pay bills from your wallet, right? So instead of having to go onto the website and scan a QR code, you just you go in the wallet and you say, I want to send an e-transfer. I want to pay my BMO line of credit. I want to pay one of these guys from Costa Rica. You just click a button and boom, it will literally send the funds from your Bitcoin wallet to the exchange, automatically convert it to fiat and send it to the recipient. And of course, you can just send also to a Lightning address. What we want to build, ultimately, our dream, our legacy, is a sovereign individual controller. So some of the technologies that we're working on, silent payments, multi-sig, ARC, inheritance setup with Miniscript, metadata backups, Nostr encrypted group chats, kidnapping tools, anything that we think is useful for a sovereign individual, we will put in our app. And I'm very excited to say that we are finally available on the App Store on iOS. So all of you that have been asking for years, when iOS, you can download it right now on your iPhone. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you like my presentation. Please give a big round of applause to the Bull Bitcoin guys. Bull Bitcoin guys, raise your hands. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the conference.